Hey everybody, so welcome to the Growing Book Club. I am just signing on to TikTok and all that good stuff. If you are new, you're going to be in a great space. Today I have with me Jacob, my brother, as you know, so he's going to be in the building. This month we start a new book, a new series for the month of July. So if you missed my live yesterday, uh, if you missed my live yesterday, then you missed out on a great conversation that talks about this book briefly. But today we're actually going to be reading it because this is the book club where we actually read books, and not just talk about them or try to sell them or all that good stuff. Although buying the book is very good, because it will allow you to dialogue with what we're going to be talking about today. So I do encourage you to get the book if you don't have it already, and it's going to be a good time. So Jacob is in deep thought. So if you see him drifting, it's not because he's not focused. He just got a lot on his brain. Hey y'all, how TikTok world? How y'all doing? We are here. We are in the building. Jacob is here with me. So we are streaming on two get. It's turning. Yeah. So how do we do this? I don't know why this one is so loose, and I call myself tightening it, and it's still loose. Let's see. Okay, I think we got it now. So, all right, y'all. Welcome, welcome. Oh, y'all, this thing is turning. I don't know why it's doing this. It's like it's tight, but it's not holding it. But anyway, we're gonna do what we always do, y'all. We're gonna get into this book. The name of the book that we're reading for the month of July is starting the Embrace Your Crown series. This is the first book of three. But this one right here is called Open Seven Gates to Find and Overcome Heartbreak. So we're gonna get into these topics, y'all, and y'all are gonna love what you're gonna hear. I'm gonna start off reading the back, and then I'm gonna have Jacob go ahead and read the dedication because I do think the dedication is important to know. But before we read that, I'm gonna read the back of the book. So if you're on TikTok, you can click on the shop to see this book. You can get the book. It will come to you signed, sealed, and delivered by yours truly, me, author Kaylee. If you are looking at the QR codes here on LinkedIn, Facebook, and some of the other applications, you can definitely order the book as well. And I will make sure I put it in the mail for you on tomorrow. I usually put things in the mail like within 24 hours or one business day. So, yeah, so you can check that out. All right, so I'll just put that QR code up there in case you need it. So, the back of the book. The purpose of this book is not to provide you with a sense of purpose, but rather to reinforce your innate purpose while exposing obstacles that may have caused doubt, right? The journey comprises of seven gates that we must unlock to overcome heartbreak. Okay. If you feel dissatisfied with your current circumstance, it's time to acknowledge your innate abilities and embrace your crown. I want you to embrace who you are, where you are, what you are born on earth to do. That's what I'm here to support you through. Okay. So this is all about supporting you and where you are and all that good stuff. Hey there. You know what? Miss Ellen designed this jacket. So it is a one of a kind. You won't find it anywhere. I love her. So yeah, thank y'all. So every individual has a purpose, talents, and gifts that must be realized to achieve success in various aspects of life, such as personal growth, spiritual fulfillment, physical health, professional advancement, familial harmony, and romantic relationships. If any of that is where you are today, you're in the right room, you're in the right book club. We gonna talk about it. Okay. So should you be willing to move beyond your painful past and transform your life, I invite you to open this book and be in this book club and embark on this journey with me. I am Dr. Crystal Lee, aka Author Kelly. Yeah, so that's what this book is on. Every month we feature a new book. So this is the back of the book in case you were curious about what we're going to be talking about for the month of July. Okay. And now Jacob is going to read the dedication because I think the dedication is pretty important because it says a whole lot about who I wrote this book for, which of course is you. But if I say that, you still don't know who you is. Because books tend to have a particular audience. So I wanted to make sure that that was clear. Thank y'all so much for the hearts. I appreciate you. Um, and yeah, the dedication.
Let's see who is this book dedicated to. Have you met a wall in your career, relationship, or life? Are you
Up from the Bronx.
Are you honestly looking for a solution for why your relationship failed? How can you stay longer on a job or be more committed than others? I realized there was a cause as to why I think live and speak the way I do. Have you discovered yet that band-aiding your problems doesn't fix anything?
Y'all, band-aids don't fix problems. Eventually,
Right.
you're going to have to face Goliath. And Goliath is scary. I mean, it could be very intimidating. It can make you feel like you're crazy for a little bit. But I want you to hang in there, hold on, and it does get clearer. Sometimes places that should hold on to you and appreciate you don't. And if you feel like that, if you're experiencing that, I want to let you know that yeah, God is bigger, A. But B, what you've been building for, what you've been studying for, what you went to school for, what you have been praying for. Some of those things don't manifest if you stay in the same place. So you may have to be transitioned. You may have to be, I know it's scary, fired to get to where you want to be because some of us are so loyal, even to a fault, that we are dedicated to what we're doing. So I wanted to encourage you with the dedication and let you know that this book is for you. Okay, right, go ahead, Jeff. You go ahead.
If you keep taking finger medicine because your body is not admit the fact you broke your arm and leg, that is a problem. But what are the symptoms of a broken heart? I don't just mean in a romantic relationship with a lover. What if the heartbreak stems from your mother, your first job, trying something and failing, or something else? What happens to a heart that is broken and never gets mended?
Mhm.
We can come up with clever ways, and we ever forget about the elephant in the room? And that's a book right there. Good children's book. We can overwork ourselves to keep our minds busy. We can be curt in our language and come off callous.
Mhm.
We can ignore people and close ourselves off from the world. Ignore events that we should go to or avoiding people who can see through our smoke screen doesn't always point to growth. We think if I can just bury it, it will go away. If I forget that I had an abortion, I won't feel the pain, regret, or shame, for example.
Some things that break our hearts when we don't know how to process how we feel about these things or what to do with our pain, shame, or whatever might honestly fill that gap. Sometimes we run from them, we bury them, we pretend they never happened. But the truth is, it did happen. And for some of us, we are even reliving this. So if you are reliving some of the things that have broken your heart, that caused you to honestly feel like you missed something or you're missing something, I want to dedicate this book to you. So I'm dedicating this book to you.
I wasn't elected as a child. Currently, that is in my past, not impacting my future as much. Yes, I have abandoned it. I don't believe nobody's lucky of my mind. I am good. I try to prove my love and was rejected. So now I'm gonna try. Let me say this, I feel like it. I feel like this book was for me though, because honestly, it was like, man, she speaking about me and my perspective on like on how I would interpret these things or something like that.
So if you currently feel like you tried to love somebody and they didn't return it, and so you're, I'm not gonna love nobody. Or if you have put yourself out there and people have abused you, it can make you feel like I don't want to be used no more, or I don't want to try and fail. I'd rather not try, and if I fail, then at least I didn't put my effort in it. I didn't put my heart in it. And so when you feel like that, honestly, you're dealing with a broken heart. You just don't know it. Some of us don't know we're heartbroken because heartbreak is not dealing with a spouse or a romantic relationship that failed. It could be promises you couldn't keep, things people said they'll do, they didn't, lies people told you that you made real decisions off of that now you're stuck living through. And so it can make you bitter. It can make you angry. It can make you mad. It can make you frustrated. And what do you do with these feelings? Sometimes we bury them because we don't know how to express our disappointment. So we just pretend like it doesn't exist because we got to survive. In the next paragraph, I talk about how I wasn't focused on my broken heart. I was focused on surviving. So I could care less about my broken heart at the time, but I realized over time, I never really wanted to face stuff that broke my heart. Now, when you're in a bad position, it might make sense to delay some things, but you can't run forever and then expect it to just go away. It won't go away. And that's what who I'm dedicating this book to too, is if you realize some of the things that broke your heart, you just can't run away from anymore. because you're tired of dealing with them. You're trying to have these late night tremors and all of this stuff that's bothering your sleep. You can't get no rest. You don't have peace. You are heavy and you're scared. You know, the truth is scared, but you don't know how to tell nobody that because you got to still face tomorrow. So what would it do to tell somebody who doesn't care what you're going through when they could weaponize it against you? And so I wanted to give you a reprieve. I wanted to pull you away from some of the things you feel like you can't get a break from with the
surviving but not living.
yeah, yeah.
You know, do you think it is beneficial to find a clear root cause for why you are stuck in your finances, relationship, mindset, business, career, or relationship with God? I have made great strides in life. I also faced many more problems. My biggest problem wasn't the abuse of my present relationship or fail or other failings, but trying to live as if I didn't have a broken heart. The truth is, I didn't know how to fix my heart had I known sooner it was broken. I was hoping to survive.
Mhm.
Survive. Are you in survival mode right now? Have you been doing what you need to do to get by?
Sometimes we do it just to get by.
Yeah.
It's not enough to get into thrive mode, but it's enough for us to pay our bills. It might be enough to brush our hair, brush our teeth, but it ain't getting us too many more clicks past that.
Right.
So some of us are depressed, but we don't have time to deal with our broken heart. So we just pretend it doesn't. Some of us pretend it don't exist, which is scary. You gotta acknowledge how you really feel and what you're going through, so that you can heal. And so that's what I believe in, and I would love to help people to do. You know, with this book and in this month. I mean, yeah, it takes more work, but at least you can see how this, ideally, this process can begin this month. And as you go through it and take in the content and allow it to change your heart, how you are living, I believe it can impact your life this month. Mhm.
I know some of us have a great spouse and feeling guilty that we don't know how to appreciate them. Some way we should be grateful, and when we respond the way we do, they don't understand that we don't know how to change. I believe you are and one of the women and men who know they may need to work on a few areas of class. I wrote this book because I do have. So I wanted someone to help me through. Sometimes it is not about a therapist that but a listening partner being able to hear you. All of my head.
It's so funny. Like, sometimes it's not about having a therapist. I know some people will say, well, I don't need a therapist. Well, you may just need somebody to hear you and let you know that you're not crazy, that you're not missing a beat, that people do care about you. And so for those that are looking to do that, I wanted to share this. Mhm.
We don't always want answers for someone to hear our heart and let us get it out. This book for you.
Mhm.
It is not about my life, but but about the experiences I have had that can help you see your blind spot. Take a blind spot.
Mhm. There are certain things we cannot see. So
Right.
this is why it's important to have people in your life and around you that actually care about you. Will there be people commingled in there that don't care about you? Of course there will be. But you want to have at least, as people say, an ace that is there for you, does care about you, and can show you how to see the things you may not see in your own life. Mhm.
What else?
I'm telling you. I'm telling my story right here.
I tell my story to help others who have the same story. Have you noticed women can have the same story but two different outcomes? I want to help women that try a thing that I feel like I had. I want to encourage you to try again and know that you can rebuild your life from where you are. But those have been through divorce and are questioning what's wrong with you. Maybe something, but maybe there was nothing you could have done to save your marriage. One key factor I would push in this book is being honest.
You got to be honest.
Yes.
I tell people all the time, if you can't be honest with the person you think you want to marry, probably not the person you should marry.
Right.
Because there are going to be times where being honest will hurt someone's feelings. But it's not because you're being malicious. It's because you're being honest. So if you're saying, hey, look, honestly, I feel like this, The person that loves you should be able to be understanding, to be able to be patient, to be long suffering. That's what love is, y'all. Love isn't just hearing what you want somebody to tell you so you feel warm and fuzzy. It's about them also having a sense of safety to be able to check themselves without, the critical judgment. Now, sometimes you do gotta listen to stuff with discretion, of course, but I'm talking about some people you can't get 3 words out before they're already analyzing you, telling you what you need to do and why you failed and what. That's not what you need all the time. Sometimes you just need somebody to hear you, to let you express your heart, and then allow you to figure it out and be patient enough with you, not dump you or cancel you because they don't agree with where you are in the process, but to allow you to grow through. And that's how you can build a lasting relationship of any kind. Mhm.
If you want to embrace her, you have to be honest.
Mhm.
You know, being honest allows you to see yourself. When you see yourself, you know who you are, what you bring to the table, and how you can invite others to join you in living on purpose. There is no doubt in my mind that our purpose is aligned. When I started coaching, consulting, and publishing business, and again with my hair and makeup line, I knew very quickly that my dreams were realized.
Nobody gets to the highest state in their business and their lives and their relationships without somebody else. So if you're out here thinking you don't need nobody, your heart is probably broken. Somebody probably shattered something in you to where you don't even trust anyone but yourself. And even sometimes the trust we have in ourselves is only to the extent that we can prove our will. So the moment we can't even answer our own desires, we don't trust ourselves either. So it's a dangerous place to be in when you can't trust yourself or nobody else.
Having successful marriage cannot happen in raising children alone is also not possible. For you to live out your purpose, you would need to link up with people. The key is choosing the right people who show you that you need to learn in this phase of your life. Sometimes we have to go through a bad friend to know how to take the good. If you have never felt as a big in your life, when and starting one as a newbie without breaking even possible challenges.
It is through our challenges and how we overcome them. What is your response when you bump up against something that challenges you, that makes you feel defeated or make you intimidated or even scared? It's the way that you respond to these moments that remind you you need other people. I dare say you need God in your life. But for those that may not know that or may struggle with that concept, you definitely need somebody. Because who's going to pull you up when you fall? Who's going to be there when you're sick? Who's going to help you when you are not able to move? Or who can you pour into to be a solution for as a business owner? Or, some of the other ways. You can't have a business and sell to nobody. You got to sell to somebody. So all of these things come together and they become part of the tribe or some of the other really fun words that we come up with. But they ultimately help you um, realize your vision. Mhm. Marriages don't work by yourself either. You got to say that because some people think,
Marriage is a big.
well, you used to call it a business. I call it a partnership.
It's like it's a,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because if you don't have a partner where you can trust and you can feed off of and they can build you up and you can return the favor, or you both are just out here attacking each other, then you're not really building anything. You're not in a partnership. You're in a competition that you think is a partnership. Because the moment you mess up, that person is there poking the bear, and now you're more frustrated or disappointed than you were before. So you want to find people that can be like minded with you and appreciate what you're doing because this is how you build anything. Mhm.
You will make mistakes on the way forward. There will be experience you will have that will take strong conviction, ideas, feelings, and you will realize this truth. But don't settle on life ending because you are starting at the fact over
Mhm.
the fact.
Yep.
Right. We
Mhm.
serve a God who can give the truth over the fact.
There's a book.
I wrote a book called Over the Fact, and talks about how truth can supersede your facts, man. Get But over the fact that that's a good book too, for sure.
Yeah, over the fact it's in the store. If y'all on TikTok, it's definitely in the store. If you're on here, I can put the QR code up there. But over the fact is a book that just talks about the facts that surround you, but how a lot of these facts are created facts. So if I create an environment and then stick you in it, then yeah, the facts are what they are, but the facts can be used to harm you and not to lift you up, not to liberate you, not to give you hope, but to actually steal it from you. And so I didn't want to limit us to make us think that the only life we could ever have or live is the facts that surround us. And so that allows people to see that life is more than the facts that you have or even statistics. I know a lot of us are running from, being labeled a statistic so much so that we are doing and making decisions that are just not even in our best interest because we don't want to be grouped in groups that will label us in ways we don't want to be labeled. Mhm.
The fact I was a young black girl born in a impoverished city. I don't remember having fancy clothes. I grew up on state assistant groceries and welfare sometimes paid my mom's rent. We were struggling to make matters work. My mom was broken. She was heartbroken, but had to piece her life together as best she could. Yeah, I grew up being so I was blessed.
For some of us, this is our story too, right? We grew up in homes that were broken. We grew up with parents that are trying to mend their own hearts or find their own truth, their own path, and their own sense of love and fulfillment. And in these places, we are then trying to figure out how to love ourselves with examples that may not be the best. We're told that we're blessed when we come from a household of faith or a household that loves God, but we also see the same people that may not follow his word or may not know how to use it. So we can sometimes question some of the things that we are raised with and wonder, how am I blessed when so much around me is not seemingly that blessed? And so yeah, and the next paragraph addresses that. So
Although I did not see this as much growing up, I, I saw more last year, and still I chose to believe that I was blessed. But I have to ask the obvious question: what if there's a test were not enough? What if we needed or desired more than they provided?
mhm,
Their limited means say we were not loved,
mhm,
and we say that their lack of resources was a dish from God.
yeah.
Some may feel that way. They may feel robbed of a life they should have lived. I had to grow and learn that although I had eaten sheltered for breakfast, lunch, and dinner on many days growing up, I never starved.
Mhm.
I can reflect on my wow, wow.
Yeah, so this is all true right here, y'all. So growing up, there were days where I honestly, my mom didn't have a lot of resources. Even with food stamps, it still wasn't enough food to last the whole month or whatever. So we end up having to go to a mission to eat breakfast in the morning, lunch in the afternoon, and dinner at night. If it wasn't for those churches doing those big kitchens to feed the homeless or people like us, then we probably wouldn't have eaten that day because we didn't have anything at home.
Right.
So I just thank people that are selfless enough to be able to give and open up their churches and buildings to do things like this and food pantries because I'm a product of that too. Mhm.
I have lived in abandoned and condemned houses with no running water or electricity.
Yep,
Yet
that's
my,
true
yet my mom found a way to make us live as that there were clothes and all clothes on including two.
for that.
Man, look at you now.
I know it's
Yeah, man.
crazy. It's crazy. I mean, but I grew up in a trailer park. I grew up with no power. I grew up with borrowing electricity from neighbors. We had to borrow like water from next door. It was crazy. Like it was absolutely insane. Like some of the things I look back now and I say, wow, that is really how I lived. I remember when I had this Chicago Bulls jacket that I got from one of the missions. I love that jacket. That probably was the only name brand thing I had growing up was a Bulls jacket. And I wore that thing every day. The only bad part is we didn't have money for deodorant. So I felt so bad. I felt like I wanted to disappear and this coat was one of the ways that I was able to do that. Didn't really work. I ended up having to hand wash my coat outside in rainwater with the soap that I could borrow from the dish from dishes. Like it was so I appreciate a washing machine now. I appreciate, a lot of the things I have access to and my children have. because I didn't have it growing up. And I tell them all the time, y'all just have no idea. And some people don't know your story either. They don't know what it took for you to get here. They just look at you and say, oh, you must have a great life, but they don't know half the troubles you went through to be able to get here. And so I just want to celebrate y'all for being here and being willing to work on the you are today, because it took work to get here. And I'm for one, I understand it, and I live it every day too. So gratitude for, what we have accomplished and what we still can accomplish. Mhm.
No silver thing in here, but today my children have never seen the days I have lived. And my friends say, God can turn your entire life around. He can take you from poverty to being wealthy. Unloved to love, heartbroken to free. I want this book to help you get
Mhm.
free from heartbreaking moments. They keep you from reversing your crown and transforming your life.
Yes.
If you are ready to start finding excuses for living beneath your calling, purpose, and desire, journey with me. I want to explore if our desires are even our own spirit pushing us.
Mhm.
Some of us may think we know that will make us happy or free. I can tell you that money is not all you need.
So a lot of people say, all I need is some more money. All I need is,
Right.
this person or that person.
Mhm.
But when you get those people and you still feel empty, then what is holding you? I know a lot of wealthy people too. People that will never see a broke day. They got their stuff decked to the nine. But these same people cannot get their children a call in. These same people won't get a card on Mother's Day, Christmas, or any holiday. And it's not because they abandoned their children. They were there, but something with the gratitude didn't necessarily click and doesn't click for all of us. So we don't know always what broke someone's heart. Have a great day. And so, yeah, so we are led and compelled to say, okay, let's do an inventory check and see what happened in us. And that's what this book is going to show you how to do. It's how to journey through your own emotions and feelings on your time, in your way, with a gentle nudge from me. Mhm.
Help is not Help is not either having many friends nor having the love for your life. Learning why you were born and intention for your life is the foundation for where we should all begin. So I ask the ultimate question: what is your purpose?
Mhm.
And you were born on purpose. You was born on a purpose for a purpose
With a purpose.
with a purpose for a purpose. Yeah.
Yes, but the question is, will you live on purpose? So if you read this book, there's a saying I have that says, you were born on purpose, with a purpose, for a purpose, but will you live out your purpose? And that is only a question you can answer and that you can fulfill. Everyone else can have their ideas on what you should be doing with your resources, your talent, your whatever. We can fill in the gaps. But ultimately, how you choose to live your life is only up to you. Mhm.
For those in pursuit of the purpose, those who have found it, yet the many were in the involvement, all allow this book to minister. Furthermore, I want to dedicate this book to helping you find your purpose in the pursuit of the life you were born to live.
I think the key here is sometimes we feel like our purpose is outside of us. Like we have to go hunt for our purpose. But the truth is, you were born with it. So the question is, what has gotten you discouraged about what you were born with to believe that what you were born with has no value? Because people will tell you, oh, you talk too much, or oh, you smile too much, or oh, you are so friendly, oh, you're too this, you're too that. And as we start to hear these things or these comments, it can shape our behaviors. And sometimes some of our greatest gifts and even part of our purpose, we can disassociate ourselves from. And now we don't really know what we're here to do anymore because we're no longer living for our purpose. We're now living to please other people, and as we're doing that, we're finding ourselves more and more depressed, more and more lost, more and more confused because you're letting the same people that broke your heart try to direct you. And that is the danger. And allowing people that don't know your purpose to tell you what to do. And sometimes the people that love you think they're looking out for you by saving you from yourself. And that is not always the truth. Right. So if you're not in the mood, you can always turn this off. I love you and I pray you find, healing and whatever you might be going through. I'm not sure. They're saying they're not in the mood, but I'm not sure what they're going through. But I do pray that the Father delivers you because there is healing and restoration on this line. So stay in this a little longer and maybe you're feeling like you're in a better mood. Okay, so now I'm going to read the introduction, y'all. So this is what we do in this book club. We actually read the book with you to help you read this book because I know not everybody ultimately can do that. So let's stay focused, y'all. I know some people are on here posting distractions, but we're focused on your growth. So the name of this book club, by the way, is the Growing Book Club. So if you want to grow, keep listening, keep hearing, and you're going to be blessed. And if you want to read with us, when you have the book, you can, of course, participate because you can read from the book with us. We're not against other people reading with us. All right. So uh, the verse that inspired my introduction is before I formed you in the womb, I knew you before you were born. I sanctified you and I ordained you a prophet to the nations. Everybody on this live has a reason for why they were birthed into the earth. I know some people would say you were a mistake. Some people would say that I don't know why you're here, or you were here for some, blanket reason that they come up with. But I tell you that is far deeper than that. You were born with a purpose. The question is, what is your purpose? The importance of finding and living your purpose is uncontested. Okay, some people would say it don't matter why you're here, just live. That ain't true because you could live your whole life and never accomplish what you were birthed to do, and the whole nation could be lost. Your legacy could be muddy because you missed some fundamental things that were already in you to share with the world. So you got to know your worth, and that's one of the things I want to encourage you to do today. We all know that there is a inner pulling and a strong nudge to find our purpose. Some go to other countries to find it. Some date or get married to discover it. Others have children, go to college, get jobs, and self isolate to get this perceived hidden gem. What if I told you everything you are doing to find your purpose is not necessary? I know people that tell you, oh, you need to go on vacation, you need to fly away, you need to spend this money, you need to go to I don't know, a mental health, camp or something. That stuff isn't necessary if you don't have it, is what I'm trying to say too. What if I told you everything you need to live your purpose you were born with and have had all along? Sometimes we feel like we're not enough. And because we feel like we're not enough, that's what makes us disassociate ourselves from our purpose and we miss the very thing that's right in front of us. Because the smoke screen got us blind. You were not plucked out of the cosmos and given the breath of life because of some shallow, uncharted, or not calculated plan. You were born with your purpose because you were born for a purpose. Your mother and father were hand selected by the creator of the universe. You cannot control what family you were born into or the bloodline you share. We do not get to cherry pick the good things from our tree and ignore the bad ones either. We are to live with the wheat and the tares, the good things, the bad things about ourselves and our family. And that is not limited to some social understanding, but every fabric of our lives. We are not born perfect. I know people want us to be. People want us to just have it all together, come already fixed. But let me tell you, we all got something across the bear. Ain't none of us out here perfect. So for people who are out here expecting perfection, they haven't looked at themselves in the mirror, not being honest. No matter how rich you think you are or stand to be, there is still going to be an imperfection in you that somebody's got to deal with. The question is, can y'all deal and work with each other? And if you can, then you can walk together. But you got to agree on some things. So we are not born perfect. We are created perfect, but born in iniquity. The world is fallen, filled with people who have made mistakes, and you too are among them. No matter your age, purpose, culture, ethnicity, or social or wealth class, you will have to face these same seven gates that I challenge you to journey to find and open. We may think locked doors keep us safe, but they keep us stagnant and imprisoned within our own minds, limitations, and expectations. I have opened seven gates or to open these gates because a lot of times we will block ourselves into these mental cages thinking that we're saving ourselves from the world. But I dare challenge you to believe that you are delaying yourself from the world. You're delaying your purpose because you haven't embraced who you are, where you are, maybe what you need to work on. If you run from it, it ain't going nowhere. It's going to be right there when you finish doing whatever has had you distracted. It'll be waiting on you. So why not challenge it with your eyes open? Isn't it easier to fight a component or an opponent when you can see them? How many of us are closing our eyes, just flailing our hands, and our enemy or the thing we're trying to hit is nowhere in sight, and we don't even know how close or far away we are because we're afraid to open our eyes. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. One time I went to this water park back then, and even today, I'm not a big swimmer. I don't really like swimming that much. But I was at this water park and I was on this inner tube. And when I was on this inner tube, the inner tube flipped over. Okay. Now, when this inner tube flipped over, everything in me said, Lord, I'm dying. I'm about to die. I'm about to drown in this thing part. Ain't nobody going to be looking for me. I'm short. At that time, I was even shorter. So I just knew I was sinking to the bottom. And I kid you not, as I'm like flailing, acting a fool, totally embarrassing myself, the lifeguard says, ma'am, open your eyes, open your eyes. And I'm like, I can look at my eyes. I'm about to die. And how about this whole time I was standing up in this pool? I was standing up in this pool, y'all, and I'm thinking I'm dying. And some of us are going through the same thing. We are standing and we think we're dying, but you're alive because you can breathe, you can touch things, you can change your life. And I had to realize I wasn't dying in this little baby pool that I that for some reason my feet was underneath me for a brief period, but I could walk out of it. Some of y'all, hey there, some of y'all need to walk out of your problem. You're not drowning. The only thing that is convinced you're dying or drowning is you. So open your eyes. I want you to open your eyes today. Okay? Walk with me. Hear me out. Okay? So you are the ruler who has enacted a glass ceiling over the dreams and elevation you could have in your faith, hope, dreams, finances, family, career, and business. We talk a lot about mindset, and yes, it is a hefty part of success and progress. But knowing who you are, what you were born to become, and having a way to get there must be high on your priority list. Okay? You can be out here beating the pavement with high charged thoughts, but only they fail because you have not made room for your success. Some of us are afraid of succeeding. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. When you feel like, Lord, I deserve what I'm getting, I appreciate your humility. I appreciate those that are humble. But some of y'all are so low, you're on the ground and people are stepping on you. You need to stand your butt up because these people are going to stop walking on you. I have this verse in one of my books. I said, some of these people are surfboarding on people to hell. They're surfboarding on y'all. They're using y'all as vessels to get them to places they shouldn't even be going. Stop letting people use you like that. You have value, and that's why you're here. You got to figure out what your purpose is so that you can demand what is yours. You can't I don't know if you can see this subtitle, but it says stop begging to be acknowledged, appreciated, loved, or respected. These are things you should not be begging people that say they love you to do. They should already be doing them. And if they're not doing them, you need to reassess what love is to you. And 9 out of 10, you have a gate that you close, locked down like Fortnite. And as you lock this thing down, now you don't even know what is good anymore because you stopped it from coming in. It's you kept out the bad, probably, but you're keeping out a whole lot of good. Sometimes therapy is on the other side of the door. Sometimes hope is on the other. Sometimes salvation is on the other side. Some of us feel like, Lord, I don't deserve you. And you're right. You're right. We don't deserve them. But how many of us know we need them? Right? Sometimes we may not need some things or want some things, but if it wasn't for God, if it wasn't for mercy, if it wasn't for grace, where would all this be? Ain't none of us perfect. So if people think we only gonna get what we deserve, a lot of us won't get nothing. We'll have coal for Christmas, okay? But thank the good Lord of Zion that ain't our lot in life, and we can come out of it, right? You are out here living vicariously through other people's purposes while neglecting your own. Have you been out here doing stuff for everybody? I mean, you worried about everybody else's business. You worried about everybody else's purpose. You worried about how everybody else gonna get buried, but you don't got life insurance. You spending your last on these people that will not give you a dollar from their bank account that they got money in. They'll lie to you, use you, and you out here hurting, dying, and trying to defend some people that won't return the favor. Mm-mm. Nope. You have taken the shortcuts others took and watched them succeed, but it hasn't given you much momentum to accelerate towards your own purpose. Some of us out here are doing things that other people may have done to succeed and gloat over us. And that same thing don't work for us. Sometimes those things are bad things. Sometimes they're illegal. Sometimes they're not. But they just didn't work for us. And we're looking at the Father like, yo, what's up? It worked for them. Why didn't it work for me? Because your purpose is different. Because your calling is different. Maybe your audience is different. But you're convinced that because you guys grew up in the same area, you're called to the same people, but you may not. Hmm. My job is not to give you a purpose, but to remind you of the purpose for which you were born and reveal the hindrances that have you in doubt of it. Sometimes we get in doubt of who we were born to be and what we were born to accomplish and to achieve. You are not here by accident, but on purpose. You were wonderfully made, but that doesn't mean you have made the right decisions at all times to get you to your desired end. If it were possible that you have taken the wrong turn or were born into a culture heading the wrong way, would you want to know how to correct the steps to live your purpose? Some of us are born in families where they did not give us what we need. They did not show us ultimately what we need to do, and so we are out here figuring it out by ourselves. If that's you, there's hope for you today. Okay. What this book does not perfect is to have all your answers. That's not what this is here for, but it provides thinking points that help you begin to meditate, to think on the right questions. It will also help you consider the right and wrong choices you have made or what others have done to you. Sometimes it's not what you have done or something you have necessarily chosen, but it's other people's decisions that impact you, and sometimes those are the worst ones because there's nothing you can do about it. If people have violated you, robbed you, molested you, stole something from you, those were not your choices. And it's not your responsibility. I know sometimes people will say dumb things that they don't realize how it can impact your life. They'll say stuff like, oh, you shouldn't be so fine, or you shouldn't be so pretty, or you shouldn't be so smart, or you shouldn't be so nice. But the truth is, why should I have to be a cat because you want to be a viper? Why do I have to become what you feel like that is your opposite to be in your circle when I didn't ask to be in your circle? I don't, and this is where you got to get to. You have to learn that you have a right to defend yourself. I know some of us feel like, oh, I don't want to be rude. I don't want to be disrespectful. But you are letting other people disrespect you, and you too have value. So when you realize that, oh, wait a minute, I'm disrespecting myself, and I have to see myself like I see other people, right? So we all have to understand that we have wisdom and we have something to give to life and to people that want to be in our lives, that we need in our lives. Not everybody you need. I know people that say, "Oh, well, you ain't gonna find nobody better than me, girl." Hey, boo, thank you. Don't let these people deceive you into making you believe you ain't gonna find nobody better than them. Because if you blink your eyes one good time, you can envision a man or a person or a job better than them. And if you can see it, baby, it exists. We, the way that science is made, the way our minds are, that means that whatever we have seen in our mind's eye is something we have seen in a dream or in the natural. And that's what allows us to tap into it. This is why the Bible says, protect your eye gate. Watch what you're watching. Watch what you're listening to, because these things are framing your frame of mind and telling you what you deserve and what you're going to go for, what you want in life. And if those things are not lining up, change your music, change your channel, change your friends, change your social influencers, change whatever you need to change and get it to line up to what you want to see. And I bet you it'll come. You know, I used to do those vision boards every year. Every year I did a vision board. I hit almost everything on that board. I mean, down to a science. And I realized, dang, this thing is pretty simple. So whatever you are seeing or believing for, write it down. The Bible says, write the vision, make it plain, so that not only you, but other people around you can pick it up and run with it. When people know where you're wanting to go, they either go get on board or get out your way. And you should make them do that. If people ain't going to respect where you're going, make them get out your way. They got really cool songs in the secular world about move out my way. Believers, we need to adapt some of those realities. I'm not saying pick up the songs, but I'm saying definitely some of those things you want to I'm saying you need to understand you have value. And some people got that better than, I hate to say, believers. But lock that down. You have value. This is my brother for those of you that are jumping on and asking questions. So yeah, so if you have self-doubt, self-hate, or are making daily choices that kill your body, your mind, your soul, or your spirit, if you are involved or chasing people, jobs, or situations that cannot and will not love you back, please listen. Some of y'all been begging people your whole life to love you, and you don't know no other way to live. I can tell you today that is not the only way. In fact, it's not even the best way. Okay? Hope deferred make the heart grow sick. Some of y'all are sick, like emotionally sick, physically sick, depressed, don't know what's wrong with you. You go in the doctors, people can't tell you what's wrong. You got a broken heart, and you don't even know it. You don't know it. And so my job today is to show you some of these things, definitely in this book. If you don't have it, you can get it. If not, stay in the book club every Monday. I'm gonna help read it to you, okay? But people can break your heart. You can experience such strong loss, disappointment, rejection, or frustration that it shapes your entire perception of life. You have been transformed in a deep way, and you may not yet see how much it has impacted your life. Yes, you can function brokenhearted, but how much better could your life be if you were able to find and overcome the heartbreak that has you stuck in areas of your life? If you are tired of good people running away from you, relationships you want to cultivate are smashing into millions of pieces, or your boundaries are habitually violated, meaning people don't respect you, something is broken and needs fixing. Okay, this isn't normal. And if it's been normal for you, I apologize for those that have been treating you like this. I apologize to you if you have allowed this to happen and you were okay with it before this meeting. Let's fix that, right? It is not right that your children manipulate, ignore, abuse, or misuse you. For some of y'all who got adult children, teenagers, young children that don't respect you, that want to fight you and do all of these things, I want to remind you that is not right. It's not cool. You should not accept that. It's not what you have to do. People will tell you all the stuff you have to do, but none of them are in your shoes. None of them know what it's like dealing with a child that you're afraid of. Okay? If you're afraid of your children or they don't, or they trying to manipulate you and tell you, well, if you don't do this, I'm not calling you or I'm not doing this. There are so many ways to allow the father to handle them and their attitude and you keep your peace because you deserve it. Are you perfect? None of us are. So if they try to bring up your past, don't allow that to shake you or make you feel like now all of a sudden you gotta like beg them to no. You just say, okay, and I see you need some space for healing. Maybe you're brokenhearted. And if I was part of that, own your part in the mess. But after you've done that, there's nothing else you can do. Some people want to drag you through the mud and make you pay for something they feel. But that's not up to you. That's not on you. It's not on you. All you can do is own your part. After you've owned your part, baby, let it go and let them grow. Because that's all that they can do. That's all you can do. So if you're holding people hostage from forgiveness and things like that, so they say they're genuinely, they apologize and they acknowledge their fault against you. There ain't nothing else they can give you. But if you're still broken, this is where healing has to come in, and it's got to come in from within you, not from them, because they're not the source of your healing. They are the source of forgiveness, but you now got to forgive yourself. You now got to allow love to replace what you allowed to turn into hatred or bitterness or anger. Anger is dangerous. Anger causes stroke. Unresolved anger causes heart attack. So it is in your physical well-being that is necessary to forgive and to let things go. Not necessarily to forget, like, you know what I'm saying, you'll be the fool again, but I'm talking about let it go so you can grow. Don't hold yourself hostage or them, because let them grow up. Let yourself grow up. Y'all was young. Some of y'all holding stuff from 30 years ago. Both of y'all was kids. Y'all grandparents now. Like, it's over. Time to grow up. Okay, it's time to move on. Time to love yourself through these things and allow love to be replaced by some of these other things that you may feel or you may have been heartbroken by. Okay. Um, it is not right that your children manipulate, ignore, or abuse, or misuse you. It is not fine that people ignore your words and mute your dreams. Baby, if people are out here cutting you off left and right, they won't let you get three sentences out without disrupting you. Like, people will say, well, no, that's not what I'm saying. First of all, you didn't allow me to finish, so you don't know what I'm saying. Some people don't even know what you're saying to be on topic, but they're going to tell you you're wrong already, which means they're only in the conversation to hear themselves. Those are the type of people you either allow them to hear only themselves and you disengage from the conversation, or you have to let them clearly understand boundaries of good communication. You say, okay, let me get this straight. This is what you said. And when they try to cut you off and say, hold on, I want to make sure we're effectively communicating. People hate when you slow them down, but you got to slow some people down because they're moving so fast, they don't hear their own thoughts. So they don't even know what they're saying. So how you going to try to check me on what I'm saying and how I feel? You don't even know what you're saying. So when I start repeating back what people are saying, then they start to hear how sometimes, I hate to say it this way, how stupid some people sound. And they're like, wait a minute, I said that? Yeah, you just said that. And they're like, well, that's not what I meant. Well, let me tell you how I'm going to respond to what you just said. And then we can go into what you meant so that we're both on the same page. People don't like being held accountable, but you got to hold them accountable. Because when you hold them accountable, that's when they start making real changes because they see themselves. You got to be honest with people, and they got to be honest with themselves. But everybody ain't doing this hard work of being honest. Right. Need good people in their life like you, like me, like Jacob, Say, help them out. So we're gonna help them today, right? So yeah, it is not right that you feel completely out of control and others are telling you how to live, when to sleep, or dictate what is relaxing for you. You met people that try to tell you how to relax. No, you need to go and have sex with a random stranger so you can relax. That's a lie. I'm not going out there violating myself to relax. That's not relax. That's gonna bring judgment on me. That's gonna make me feel some kind of way. That's gonna make me think I'm supposed to be with this person. I don't even know them and they don't know me. So that is not my problem. I need to figure out what is the root of my problem, right? Some of us are acting out. Yes, we are. But what is the real cause of the problem? And once we find that, we can deal with the symptoms. A lot of people are out here drinking, smoking, all this other stuff, but those are all symptoms of something else. So the question becomes, what is broken in your heart? What has happened in your life that has you in a holding position? And how can you honestly open those gates in a safe space to where you can allow the right things in that puts out the things that are not good, have not been good, in your life and for your life. Okay. Unless you are in jail, of course, and you lose your rights, that's the only time people can honestly tell you how to do most of those things. But if you are free, then you got to know you're free indeed. You got to know that your life is your choice. But as a free person, this is not how you were born to live. You must free yourself from the imprisonment a broken heart has placed on you. You are royalty, and there are inalienable rights you have but must embrace. These are yours. You got to realize when you have a bank account with money in it, you got the call. How you use it, if you use it, is your choice. And a lot of us have access to the wonderful personality we have, the wonderful attitude we got, the wonderful cheerfulness, the joy, the love, the goodness. And for some reason, we're allowing other people to dictate how we use it. They're trying to cash in. They thieves. Don't let people take what's yours. You get to choose how you use these things. And I feel for people that want to be broken because a broken heart doesn't lead to a place of rest. A lot of people that are brokenhearted have no peace and no rest. And so I just pray for those that honestly feel like they deserve to be brokenhearted. I know some people on here are being silly, but for those of you who may feel like, no, I deserve this because of what I've done, or maybe what I didn't do, or who I didn't choose, and stuff like that, I want to let you know, hey, babe, how you doing? Good evening. I want to let you know that you don't have to stay in this position all of your life, no matter how much you feel you deserve it. Or if someone tries to tell you, this is all you're gonna get. I want to let you know that that's not true. If you are trying to put your foot on the gas to accelerate your car and it will not go, you know to check out the vehicle to see what is causing it not to perform. If your life is not performing, if things are not working, then that means something is fundamentally wrong. And if you notice stuff is fundamentally wrong in your life, you have to do a service check. Okay. This book is meant to do a service check on your life, on your heart, on your relationships, how you spend your time, how you see your purpose, why you do things the way you do, what's your atmosphere, what's the lifestyle you live that you may not realize. Hey there, the name of the book is Embrace Your Crown, Open Seven Gates to Find and Overcome Heartbreak. That's what we're reading from and dialoguing to for the month of July. So you can get it, I believe it's 10. Yeah, I think it's 10. But yeah, you can get it and then no, it wasn't. Let me pin it for you so you can see it. So yeah, so this is the book that you can get that ultimately talks about everything I'm talking about today. Okay. So yeah, so if you realize that there is something that's fundamentally wrong in life, I want you to consider going through this book. Okay. You're welcome. Thank you. So this is the book I'm reading from. In case you're curious, you should expect your life to do what it was designed to do. You expect the car to do what it was designed to do. So why don't we just expect ourselves to perform and to do and to achieve what we were designed to do? You were designed to do something great. You were designed to build up something wonderful. You were called for something great. Yes, some of us come from crazy situations, but that doesn't mean that we have to stay in them. We can always overcome, some of the craziest circumstances. I can list plenty of people, examples are in the book, but ultimately, yes, people can overcome and we do every day. There are miracles every day. I have a book that I was helping a client of mine publish, and her 2-year-old daughter was born with a very rare disease that ultimately attacks a lot of her organs. And one of her organs basically stopped working really 6 weeks after her birth, which was her liver. And we were going to publish the book with her being on the liver transplant list. And now, not even 2 days later, we get to publish that book and say that she got the liver she was waiting on. So a 2-year-old girl now has a liver and is now going to be doing the transplant surgery. So keep her in prayers for those of you that are prayer warriors. I thank you in advance. I'm definitely going to keep my little mama lifted up. But it's a phenomenal book. I'm definitely going to do a post on it and share more about it later too. Yes, we are believers if you're interested. But yes, power. This is what I'm talking about. Y'all are looking for miracles. They're here. And by the way, the baby girl's name is Miracle. How good it is. Okay, but I'll be going all over the place. Let me focus. Okay, again, you were born with and for a purpose. Question: do you want to stop chasing your purpose and live it? Some of us are chasing, looking for it, but I tell you, you can live it instead. Okay, journey through these 7 gates to find and overcome heartbreak, so you can embrace your crown. Okay, embracing your crown is embracing who you are, what you were born to be, your journey ahead, and honestly, not being afraid to navigate the turns that come with it. Okay. So I definitely want y'all to get this book, join us every Monday. Definitely, this is the first week of July, so this started the book. But in the coming weeks, we are going to move through these chapters in this book. Having the book allows you to read all of the chapters, of course, because we will not be able to read them all on here. Likely, we'll probably get through one chapter in each the one of the chapters each week. So if you are definitely wanting to follow this book and get this wisdom, then I encourage you to grab the book. Okay. There are 5 in the TikTok shop. So definitely grab one if you want one because they can go fast. I do ship them out the next day. So you'll get them in the mail tomorrow and you'll typically have them in a few days. So I encourage you to get it. Now, what are we going to be talking about in this book? Today we did the dedication and the introduction, but the 7 gates that you have to open ultimately in this book is time, purpose, patience, patterns, wants and desires, atmosphere, your lifestyle, and then ultimately we go to how can you transform and go beyond change. So every book I take you from where you are in this book and ultimately parachute you very comfortably and so to the next book. So this is a 3-part series, but I'm only going to go through this book in the month of July. And then I guess we're going to a total different book. So I definitely recommend you start with this book, but you don't have to if you want to get into the Embrace Your Crown series. All 3 books are in my shop. So you can check out all 3, pick the one that identifies with where you are in life. And if you're on the other platforms, you can go to my website, authorklee.com. Facebook and Instagram have my store as well. So feel free to look through the books and find the one that best identifies with where you are. But my goal every week is to make sure I am giving you the content in these books, helping you to go through them. For those that are not readers, I don't want that to be the reason why you're not able to access the content. I am a transformational coach. I am a certified chaplain and a ordained minister, but I also have a whole lot of other credentials that are honestly reflected in these books. So I definitely encourage you to do that. If you've ever wanted me to coach or mentor you or something like that, these are great segues into that or getting to know me, and the type of content I have. And so I definitely want to encourage you on that. Jacob here is my brother and he is with me often. And so I definitely want to encourage y'all. But with Jacob, his book is coming out ideally in the spring of 2026 at the latest. He's gonna move a lot faster, y'all. He's just, he's just in his own vibe right now. So if y'all are writing books, I want to encourage you, keep writing your book because somebody out here needs to hear your story. Right. And if 1% of the world want to hear your story, that's already billions of people. So you don't have to have everybody, but just be committed to the people that the Father wants you to reach. And I think you'll do just fine. Okay. So if you do need help with that or you have questions, you can always DM me. I'm a really good publisher and I can tell you more about them. But that is all that we're going to do today. It's 8:30. So I want to thank y'all for being with us. I want to pray y'all out so y'all can go and have a great rest of the week.
Get that book, man.
Yeah, definitely go get the book if you want to continue the journey and have the other chapters because again, we can't read them all on the live from 7:30 to 8:30. We do this every Monday. So if you want to join us again next week, that's the time. So Father, I thank you for everybody that has hopped on this live either during the whole thing. And those that have been on in part, thank you for those that have started to follow and to give and to do things to acknowledge what you're doing in their hearts, in their minds, and in their lives. I look forward to the testimonies, to the things that will come back to show us what you have done in their lives through the use of this book and the coaching and this conversation. I don't think everything has to be super deep, but I do think it should be effective. And I trust that, Father, this is going to be effective in changing people's lives, encouraging them to know they're not alone and that they matter and they can grow through life with us in this club and with the book that we're presenting. It's in the mighty name of Yeshua Jesus the Christ that we trust He's going to send you on your way and throughout your week. I would love to hear how this has blessed you. So if you want to leave a comment and let us know, we would love to hear. This is Jacob, my brother. So if you was wondering who was reading, it's him. I'm not the male voice. I'm the girl. So yeah, in case you're curious. But anywho, I pray y'all have a blessed week. And thank y'all again for joining me on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok. I love y'all. Until next time I do a live or I come on for some reason. Y'all know I'm busy. Oh, by the way, y'all, I have like 4 new books coming out. So I will be doing a live this week, Wednesday and Thursday. I get book delivery. So it's going to be snap crazy. So if y'all think my store is lit right now, y'all ain't seen nothing yet because I told y'all I was going to have 50 books by the end of the year. But then I had to up the game because I don't know, it might have been too easy for me. So I wanted to drive myself a little crazy. So I said I'm going to do 50 before the end of summer on one of my videos. So now I got to the end of the month to pop out 3 books. And let me tell you, one I'm working on right now is fire. It's so good. I feel like I'm going to be done tomorrow, and I'm excited. And then I have a book of prayer. It's going to be 30 days of prayer. I'm going to come out with that book. That is my free book. So if you start in a life or you're wanting to increase prayer in your life, and you may honestly just need help in prayer, the book is for that. It gives you 30 entries or 30 prayers that you can do every day as you build your prayer life. If you want the free ebook, you can DM me or email me or something like that. I'll send it to you. If you want the physical copies, those do cost because we have to print them and ship them and all that type of stuff. But it is my gift to you all, especially those that are following my ministry and things like that. I wanted to have something, honestly, that's from my heart to yours. So definitely get copies, share them with your friends and family. And then, yeah, it's gonna be a wild ride. That's all I can tell y'all. If y'all think I'm a one-sided writer, y'all about to get wow. Because I have some books coming out in some crazy genres that honestly kind of made me nervous. I didn't think I could do it, but the Father put me to the fire, and He said, "You're gonna do it, and you're gonna be great." So I want y'all to give y'all comments. So I have a book coming out called Dark Queen. It's wild, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie. I don't even know how to start that one, so I ain't gonna say much. But it's a novel. I have another one coming out. Are You Sleepy, Baby? It is my book towards people that are having baby showers and stuff like that. It's real cute. I have The Planning the Tree coming out. Another children's book. It's really good. I have Why You Got an F. And some of these children out here acting like they don't know why they got an F. So I made a book about it. But there's lessons, morals, of course, stuff like that that's in there. And then I have another book called Your Legacy Moment. And your legacy moment is about how you can take this moment you're in right now to build your legacy. No matter how young or how mature you are, I want to show you how to build a legacy. And your legacy doesn't start when you die. It starts while you live, and it's everybody you impact, not just your own children. So I want to show you how to do that and make it make sense and take advantage of all the things that exist for safeguarding your life and your future. So if that can bless you, I'm gonna talk more about these books when they're in, but I wanted to drop the line so you know they're coming. And yeah, I think I talked about probably 6 books already, and I think I have like 2 more in the clip. So all right, y'all, but I gotta let y'all go because I gotta go right. Okay, I think I'm on chapter 8, and my goal is to get it to 15 chapters. So I still got about what's that? 7 more to go. So y'all pray for me, okay? I probably won't sleep tonight, but let's go. Y'all have a blessed week. I love y'all again. Thanks for all the likes, the follows. I love you. If you follow on TikTok, then you get 10% off your next order. So feel free to use that coupon for whatever book you want to get. And check out some of those other books. There are 45 in my shop right now. So it's crazy. I think it's 43 because the other 5 are in the mail. That's crazy. He'll be back Wednesday, Thursday. They'll be in there. All right. I love y'all. And they all come signed, by the way. You order from TikTok or my store, they come signed in it. Okay? All right, he has like 10 of my books now. He's still building. He thinks he's doing it all, but he's still got like he's a third of the way. Some more work to do. But anyway, I love y'all until Monday, or honestly, not until Wednesday or Thursday when I hop back on with the mother book. I love y'all. Y'all have a good week. Bye.